You will recall that in the last episode, Jimmy Allen and Speed Robertson took off in a P-38 Lightning to enact an air battle which is being filmed for the movies. Jimmy is flying the ship, and at a prearranged signal, the attacking planes, one of them being flown by Nails Ballou, dive on the P-38. The scene also calls for a squadron of American fighters which come to the aid of the plane flown by Jimmy. As the cameramen record the exciting fight, Speed suddenly discovers that Nails Ballou has engaged Harry Phelps in single combat and is forcing him dangerously close to the ground. Knowing of Ballou's hatred of Phelps, he believes their fight a deadly one and not part of the air show. Speed shouts a warning to Jimmy, and they dive to the aid of Phelps, who is being hopelessly outmaneuvered by the reckless Ballou.
How can we stop it?
I'll work in next to Ballou. I'll try to wave him off.
There. Harry's trying to run again.
Come on, get in close, Jim. If we don't, Harry's a corner.
Oh, he's a hound, that Ballou. He's sure to get Harry. I know it.
Oh, look. If Harry doesn't pull out of that dive, it's too bad.
Watch it now, Speed. I'm going to try to pull in between Harry and Ballou.
By George, it is, Roy. He's come down to help his dad.
Look at that boy tear in, would you?
Ballou sees him, too. Oh, look at that.
He's pulling right down on Ballou.
Hey, wait a minute here, Jim. Circle around over him. Let's see what happens.
All right. Hey, but look at that, would you, Speed? Young Roy's cut in right next to Ballou.
Yeah, and Harry sees him. Hey, he's getting away.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Harry's all right. He's safe.
Yeah, but look at that half roll Ballou's doing.
Ballou's after Harry again.
Great guns, and Roy's pulling in ahead of him.
Look, Speed, look. What? They're going to hit.
Oh, another collision. Roy crashed right into Ballou.
Both ships are falling. Oh, gosh, what an awful crash.
Now, wait a second. Yeah, there goes Ballou. He jumped out.
His chute's open. Well, Ballou's all right.
Oh, why didn't Roy bail out? Come on, get out of there, Roy.
Something must be wrong, Speed. Maybe he can't get out.
There he goes. He's away, Jim.
Oh, boy, just in time. Oh, look at that, Speed. His chute's open.
That's great. They're safe. All right, let's go down there and land, Jim.
What do you mean, Speed?
There's a field right under us. See it? Look, it's right next to where the two ships went in.
Oh, yeah, I see it. It looks pretty small, Speed.
Come on, we can make it all right. Hurry up, let's get down. I want to talk to that guy Ballou.
All right. Here goes. Hey, look, Speed. Ballou's almost down.
Yeah, he'll hit right in that field we're going into.
And Roy will, too. Boy, I didn't think Roy'd ever get out of that ship of his.
Yeah, that was a reckless thing he did, but it sure saved his father.
Yep, they're down. They're down all right. Hey, and look. Ballou has got out of his chute and is running over to Roy.
Yeah, let's get down there. Come on, you're all right, Jimmy. Slip into that field now.
Yeah, I can make it all right.
Yeah, nice landing, Jim. You're okay. All right, turn it around now and taxi up to where Nails and Roy are.
Great Scott, Speed. Look. Ballou and Roy are having a fight.
Yeah, they sure are. Come on, hurry up, Jim. Get up there. Ballou's twice Roy's size.
Let's get out and help Roy. I'd like to take a good poke at that guy Ballou anyway.
Now you stay with the ship. All right, now. I'm getting out. Hey, quit that. Quit that fighting.
I'll teach you to run me out of the air.
You big bully. You were after Dad.
Yes, and I'll get him, too.
Come on, lay off of him, Ballou. Quit that.
Don't hit me again, Ballou. Don't hit me again.
Take a load of that. I'll teach you.
Come on, let him alone, Ballou. Do you hear me? Get up, Roy. I won't let him touch you.
What have you got to say about it?
Don't touch that kid again.
I'm not through with him yet. I'll give him something to remember for a long time.
Don't you lay a hand on him.
You keep out of this, Robertson. You saw what he did. He ran smack into me. I was lucky to get out of that ship.
He was after Dad. Why, in another minute he'd have...
I saw the whole thing, Roy.
Now I'm going to take you, Phelps, and
No,
I'm going
don't,
to give you...
don't.
Let go of that kid.
I'll show him right
All right,
now.
Nails, you asked for it. Here it is. And here's another one.
Say, Robertson, you can't hit me and get away with that.
I can't, huh?
Oh, boy, what a sock. Knocked him right off his feet.
Hell, have you had enough, Baloo? Come on, get up on your feet, you rat.
I'll settle this later with you, Robertson.
Come on, get on your feet and we'll settle it right now.
Don't hit him anymore, Speed. He's licked.
All right, what about it?
I'm going to remember this, Robertson. You'll hear from me later.
That's if you had enough, huh? I'm going to tell you something, Baloo. The next time I catch you in any funny business, I'm going to put you away in a hospital. I'm through fooling with you. Now pick up your chute and beat it.
You'll hear from me later, Robertson. You can't get away with this.
Beat it and shut up. All right, Roy, you all right? Did he hurt you at all?
No, Speed. I don't think so. I'm all right.
Hey, that was a plucky thing you did. I should sure save your father. Baloo was out to get him.
I had to do something. But I didn't mean to run into him, Speed.
Yeah, I know that. That's all you could do, though.
Oh, gee, Speed. He'll be after you now, and he never forgets. Oh, boy, was that a fight. Oh, gee, Speed. You certainly gave that guy Baloo a trimming.
Is the ship all right, Jim?
Yeah, I cut the switches on her.
Hey, look. Here comes one of the camera ships into land. It must be Stewart.
Oh, yeah. He was circling around when you were fighting with Baloo.
I'll bet Stewart's plenty hot, too. This is a fine ending to a scene.
Well, what had I better do, Mr. Robertson?
Now get your chute, Roy, and you can ride back to the field in this camera ship.
Okay, I'll do that. And, gee, well, thanks a lot, Mr. Robertson. If you hadn't come down and landed, well, I don't know what would have happened.
Well, that's all right. You just stay away from Baloo.
I say there, Robertson, what's this all about? That was quite a fight.
Which one do you mean, Mr. Stewart? The one in the air or the one on the ground?
Both of them, for that matter. Simply stupendous. The greatest shots we've ever made. Hank was so thrilled he's still raving about it.
Oh, Hank the cameraman, huh?
Yeah.
Say, was that fight really okay?
Marvelous, Robertson. Simply gorgeous. I've never seen anything to equal it. And when the two airplanes came together, perfect realism. Oh, you certainly know you're flying.
Well, that collision wasn't part of the show. We hadn't planned on that one.
Oh, no? How unusual. It was beautifully done, however. Beautifully. Who were the flyers?
Well, Nails Baloo was one of them and Roy Phelps the other.
Ah, that Baloo fellow. He's a real pilot. Completely reckless, isn't he? Looks like he's always smashing into someone.
Yeah? Well, Baloo's a little too realistic at times. In fact, I'm going to have to put a damper on his flying.
Don't be silly, Robertson. He made the picture today. We must use him by all means. Why, he's the best pilot you have, Robertson.
Well, I'm glad you like him. So you're satisfied with the picture today, huh?
Excellent, Robertson. Excellent. Couldn't have been better. There were ships all over the place. Spinning, rowing, whatnot. You're to be congratulated, believe me. Well, I've got to run now. See you later on the tarmac.
So long, Mr. Stewart. Glad you liked the work today.
Goodbye, Mr. Stewart.
Now, for crying out loud. Here I thought the whole thing was a washout, and Stewart comes along and says it's wonderful.
Well, I guess it did look pretty good at that speed. There sure was plenty of action for a minute.
I'll say there was. A little too much action. I guess the cameraman shot the whole fight between Baloo and the two Phelpses. I'd forgotten they were even around.
Well, if Stewart is satisfied, that should please you.
Well, there he goes. He's satisfied, all right. But let me tell you, Jim, I'm not.
You mean about Baloo, huh?
Yeah, if this sort of thing keeps up, well, somebody's going to be hurt.
Well, what can you do, Speed?
Well, this fellow Baloo, Jim, has caused all the trouble.
He certainly has done that.
I'll tell you frankly, I was going back to the field, call up Mr. Milligan, and tell him that the deal with Baloo was off. I see no sense in fooling around with a troublemaker like he is.
You mean you've changed your mind?
Well, you heard what Stewart said about Baloo. He thinks he's the best pilot we have. If I go to Milligan now, Stewart will raise the very net about it. He'll insist on keeping Baloo.
What about the agreement between Mammoth and Pacific Studios?
That's another thing. We really need those ships of Baloo's. There's no question about it. I was going to suggest to Milligan that we get rid of Baloo and make arrangements to use some other ships.
Now you think Stewart will object, huh?
Sure he would. And he'll hear about the fight Baloo and I had, too. And now if I try to get rid of him, Stewart will think it's purely a personal matter.
Oh, say, Speed, after that licking you gave Baloo today, it probably will be a personal matter. At least as far as Baloo is concerned.
Yeah, I know. I sure didn't help matters any by punching him in the jaw.
Oh, boy, that was some fight, all right. And he's a big man, too. Say, Speed, what's all the mystery about Baloo anyway? What is there between him and Harry and Roy Phelps?
Well, I wish I could answer that one. Baloo's a funny character, Jim. I've known him a good many years. He's one of the most disagreeable persons I've ever met.
He sure is hard-boiled.
Yeah, and it's not a front either. Baloo looks hard, talks hard. The funny part of it is he is hard. He's got lots of courage. He's got unlimited nerve. I'll tell you this, he never forgets an enemy.
I can believe that.
Yeah, but there's a side to him that bothers me. I mean, the fellow's crooked, I know that. We caught him in some crooked stuff overseas during the war. He's dishonest, he's unreliable. But I'll say one thing for him, he is a good pilot. You gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, he's a good pilot, all right.
Huh, Jim? After what happened today, well, it means war between our crowd and Ballew's bunch over at Pacific Studios. Make no mistake about that. It'll be all over the field tonight that I gave him a licking. He'll never forgive me for it. We're in for some trouble, kid. Just what'll happen next, I don't know.
Well, let them come on. If they're looking for trouble, we'll give them a battle, Speed.
Speed Robertson is mighty worried. It looks like trouble ahead on the flying field at El Toque. Let's watch developments in the next air adventure of Jimmy Allen.